to our continuing coverage of the summer preview here at Origins 2018. You're watching the Dice Tower. I'm Sam Healy. This is Tiffany. She said Tiff or Tiffany, so I decided to make it awkward.
Yeah, just drag it out.
Yeah. But anyway, she's with Deepwater Games, and she's going to show us some stuff that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to turn it on over.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to our next release.
Yeah.
So this is probably the one that people might know is the best for this summer coming in. This is Welcome to. So this was originally published by Blue Cocker Games in France, and we signed with them to do worldwide English. So it'll be coming from us for North America, South America, like the world, basically.
Okay, cool.
With the exception of Canada. Sorry, Canada. Someone else has the rights to sell this beautiful game to you. But, so we're doing a very, very, very soft release here at Origins, and then the main release will be at Gen Con, which you can pre-order this now at welcometogame.com. But this is a roll and write, but there's no dice. So some people are saying it should be like a flip and fill, or a reveal and write, maybe.
That flip
perhaps.
and fill, he's a great guy.
Yeah. I think he had a podcast once.
Kind of like roll and write, you know?
Yeah.
He makes so many games.
So the idea is each player is an architect of like 1950s American kind of suburbs, and you're making your own housing developments. So you, each player will get one of these pieces of paper, and the game supports 1 to 100 players out of the box because it comes with 100 pieces of paper.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a simultaneous action selection game. So there's no turns. Everybody's going to do their same stuff on the same turn, and you do rounds. And the really interesting thing is, I'll do a fake. I don't know why I'm shuffling. It's just habit. We're not actually going to play.
Cards must shuffle. Cards must shuffle.
Must randomize. Is you'll have 3 equal size stacks. I'm just going to fake it. And each top card shows a street number, like a housing number. And then what you end up doing is, as you discard or play the game, you'll reveal the back of the card, which has the bonus action.
Okay.
So every turn, everybody looks at these 3 options, and you pick one of the available options. And you must always pick a house number. You always have to write down a house number.
Okay.
And what you're going to do is you're going to write the house number on one of the houses on one of your 3 streets. And each street needs to be sequential. So it needs to go from lower to higher numbers, each street. And the numbers go from 1 to 15. And it's a bell curve. So there's a lot more 8s in the deck than there are any other number.
Okay.
So, but you don't have to be consecutive. So you could be like 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can have gaps. It's fine. You don't have to. You could fill in like a 7 here and a 11 here and whatnot as you play. But the interesting part is each time you pick a house number, it has a bonus action associated with it. Okay. And the bonus actions are where you're actually going to get a lot of points. So various bonus actions allow you to develop parks on certain streets. And at the end of the game, depending on how much you've developed each park, there's one for each street, you'll get points. Or you can build pools. Certain houses have pools in the backyard. So if I were to pick this pair with the 8 in the pool, I could pick a house that has a pool in the backyard, write an 8, and then I would circle the pool to say I built it, because I can do that.
All right.
And then I mark off, so I'll get more points for pools at the end of the game. So there's things like that. You also can do like subdivisions with fences, and then you can make certain subdivisions like more valuable. Okay. And then there's also, if you want to fill out your streets faster, or you messed up, like you have a 5 here and a 6 here, and you realize
you can't do it, yeah,
you can make a business address, and so you can do like a 5B or something like that. It allows you to fill out your boards faster, in addition to fixing any mistakes that you might have, but you'll lose points during the game or at the end of the game the more you do that. So that's like the main premise. There's you score points based on the various bonus actions you use throughout the game. And then there's also additional objectives, and there's 3 different types of objectives that are out, and these are the player interaction bit where people are racing to complete these. Okay. The first person to complete it would get the more points, and then once somebody has done it, we'd flip it. So then if anybody else were to complete it, they would just get the smaller value. So, and there's 3 different ones of those every game available, and there's a number to pick from. So every game you're playing with different combinations.
Cool.
So yeah, it's It works really well at all player counts. There's a solo mode that's really tough. My husband and I played it together cooperatively, just with one pad, and yeah, we didn't do that well. But there's a little like certificate of achievement in the box if you like to play solo or campaign style, where you can like try and complete certain objectives.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, in addition to the main game, and then like. The art overall is just amazing. It's just very
it's 1950s.
Yeah, I just love.
You got a DeLorean flying through that. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's really pretty. It's really simple. It's really straightforward. The MSRP is $25.
How long does each game take?
I mean, it depends on how AP prone your players are.
Yeah.
But what does the box say? The box says 25 minutes. If you've played it a few times, 25 minutes makes sense. I can play 10 players with teaching in an hour.
Wow.
So, and that's 10 players because you can play simultaneously. So yeah, that's what we run.
Okay, so you're soft launching it here.
Yep.
When are you hard launching it?
So hard launch will be Gen Con.
Okay.
We'll have copies available at Gen Con, and you can pre-order now at welcometogame.com for Gen Con pickup or shipping. And then it'll be available in stores after Gen Con, end of August, early September-ish.
Okay. Enough for shipping time.
Yeah, that weird window of after Gen Con.
Welcome to your perfect home.
Yeah.
So that's cool. All right, coming Gen Con hard release and shortly thereafter for stores.
Yep.
All right, so what else have you got for us? You've got 3 boxes over here of games that I have seen.
Yes.
And I think everybody else has seen too, because of another company that I am very, some would say enamored with. I wouldn't go that far, but I really like the company and the games that they come out with. So
they're pretty slick. So I'll just shimmy that to you.
Yep.
We'll like conveyor
Cool.
service. Da-da-da! So we have our spring, they're coming to summer basically. These were our spring titles that we brought over. So we did a Kickstarter early spring, and they've arrived and they're being fulfilled and shipped to Kickstarter backers as I speak. Basically, the warehouse is packaging them, but we do have them available here at the show for sale as well. And that includes Mystery of the Temples, which is a Rondale resource management worker movement game. You only have one worker moving around. Which does some very interesting things with gems and like sequential. I don't know if I call it programming, but it's you have to like resource collect in the right order.
In the right order, yeah, that's exactly correct.
Yeah. So there's that one. Then we have Sorcerer Stones, which is a 2 to 4 player. It's also where you're collecting resources to complete contracts, but it has a very interesting movement. I'm going to just show you this one because it's really pretty. It has an interesting element where you are Taoists and you have a board that you and your opponents are on, and then there are these G tokens on the board, and you manipulate the boards during the game by moving them and rotating them and swapping stones to make sets. And when you make pairs or like 3 of a kinds, you collect the resource of that type, and then you can use them to complete contracts. So you'll play cards from your hand that allow you to move the world. So for example, I could do, I can't do that. That's illegal. I was like, I can just rotate it 90 degrees. That's, well, here we go. So I could do this one 90 degrees, and then I could even do a, maybe I could just take this one and move it over here. And if my character was standing right here at the end of the round, I've made a pair of brown, so I would get that one. There's a pair of yellow, I would get this one. Cool. And then that's what I get. If I had managed to also maybe do this, there's 3 of a kind of blue, so I would also get the blue that's on the tile that I'm on.
You choose which one you take?
You take the one on the space that you're on.
On the space that you're on, gotcha.
Yep. And so having collected these, I could complete contracts and whatnot to build artifacts of power, which are worth more points at the end of the game. So it's a world manipulation game where you're trying to collect the resources to complete the artifact contracts. essentially. But as with any fun, interesting game, your opponents will mess with the world just as much as you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it can get pretty annoying is one word I use when I play with certain people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can get pretty thinky. And then there's another realm where the back sides of these, there's 9, and you use 5 to make the main board, and then the other 4 you put out. And there's another realm where when you collect gems from this board, you get to move in this realm, and you're collecting bonus tokens that increase the value of your artifacts.
Right.
So there's 2 areas that you're trying to balance.
This is the one title from Emperor S4 that has eluded me thus far through a number of different things. So I'm glad you guys have got it and are getting it back out there.
Yeah, well, and it's one that a lot of people haven't played or seen, and I really like it. It's 2 to 4. I'll be fully honest with you. I think that it's perfect 2-player.
Okay.
3-player, it's really good. 4-player, the AP can get a little intense. Really? And it's that whole thing of like, by the time it gets to be your turn, the world has changed so much kind of situation.
Then you also have Roundhouse here, and you said you made some slight modifications to it. So
we did. So those that are familiar, Roundhouse was a 2015 Aston release.
Sure.
Maybe 2016. I don't remember. But this is the first time it's available in the U.S. And it's a worker placement game with a rondelle where you have a lot of stickers. That's for sure. It's for 5 players, so just sticker as you play with people.
Yeah, there you go.
If you play 2 players, just sticker the ones you have. So you have a house, and so the idea is that in certain villages, there would basically be kind of like the entire village would live in a building together. Whole families would share the space, and they would work in that space, they would sleep in that space, they would barter and trade in that space. And so you have this round house, and there are room tiles, and every time you play, you put different room tiles in different orders, and you move the heads of your family around the house in a rondelle movement to activate the action spots.
Yep.
So it's worker placement. You're collecting resources to complete contracts and do trades. You also can have apprentices that you use to gain favor at certain villages, and also to gain you more points and renown at the temple. And so you're trying to complete contracts and get resources, and then also there's a set collection element. And if you invest in certain areas, you'll get amulets, and the more unique amulets you have, the more points you get. And then also you want to invest in the temple. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different paths to victory in this one.
This is probably their, as far as I can tell, their heaviest title.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes, true. Very, very much so.
Yeah.
And that's because of this. These tokens are nice and thick, and they're chunky, and they're very, I don't know, they're just very aesthetically pleasing, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Or tactilely, I don't know.
Tactically? Or not tactically, but yeah, so one of the main changes we made was the first print run of these, the Taiwanese print run, they did 7mm punch board, which is huge. It's twice as thick as this.
Yeah, really thick. And these are still really good, but
yeah, it's very thick, and it's almost like absurd the amount of weight it adds to the box.
Yes.
and stuff like that. And the cost to do those, it's a special factory. There's only like one apparently that does that thick. And so with this reprint, we decided to do something where we could print more of the games, and the costs were not as high, and so we reduced it a little bit, but it's still very, very nice.
Yeah.
Still stands out nicely.
Yep.
So.
Still good.
Yep.
Still good. All right. So you say you're shipping all of these out right now as we speak, right? To your Kickstarter backers.
The warehouse, fulfillment warehouse has the pack list. We're in the queue. At some point this week, they're supposed to start packing and shipping to the Kickstarter backers. If you didn't back it on the Kickstarter and you're here at Origins, you can pick up at our booth, which is booth 547. 547. And then otherwise, we'll have these. We might have these at Gen Con. It kind of depends. We have a very small booth at Gen Con. Huh. These are very big games.
Yeah.
It depends. We'll bring a small selection. If you are interested in picking up a copy like this, talk to your friendly local game store, because they can order it through distribution, etc. Or or if you want, our website is deepwatergaming.com, and we have a little e-store on there too. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for showing us everything, Tiffany. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us. Go check out all of this stuff from Emperor S4 in Deepwater, and then also, don't forget, welcome to your perfect new home. Coming very, very soon, Gen Con hard release. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll be back with more at a later time. Take care. We'll see you on the flip side.